Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. And what you're looking at is a rag wreath. This one has a Halloween theme to it. It's really easy. There's no sewing. You just have to cut your fabric up in small pieces and then tie it onto the frame. Okay, let's get started. This is the type of form that I'm talking about. Now they come in a variety of sizes. This one, I believe I bought it at Dollar Tree, and this only has 3 rows to tie on. Some of the smaller ones, or ones that are a little bit larger, have 4 rows. And then you have ring forms that are very, very large. So this one could take at least 3 yards of fabric by the time you're done. Now that's a combination of all the different pieces you're using. You might use a half a yard from one and then a third of a yard from another, so it all depends. So let me show you some samples of the fabrics that I used. Here are some of the samples of the fabric pieces I'm using. Most of this is just cotton fabric, quilting fabric, but I have one that's a costume fabric. It's purple with little sparklies on it. And then I have a couple of different toiles in here. And I also used a purple toile and some ribbon, little skinny ribbon. And all of them were cut a different length. They were cut anywhere from 7 inches to 9 inches long. And the reason why there's so much variation in length is because I literally was using up leftover stuff from other projects from the past. So this one is one of those where you just go through your fabrics, look for some of the stuff you don't really care about, you don't mind cutting it up into little pieces, and then you just line it up. So you would line it up in the order you would want. This fabric that I'm using is a cotton fabric. I believe I purchased it at either Walmart or Joann's, one of those 2 places. And this is the folded edge that you have when you've got it wrapped around the bolt of your fabric. And then here are the 2 selvage edges. So you want to fold it in half again. And what I'm going to do is on mine, I've cut mine about 1.5 inches wide. Most of my rag wreaths, I cut them 2 inches wide, but because I had so many different pieces, I decided to cut them a little narrower. But let's say you're going to do the 1.5. So I've got the raw edge of my fabric on this line right here. Take a ruler, and take a ruler that's going to cover all of this because less cutting you have to do. That's why we're folding it. So I've got the 1.5 inch line on this line right here. And now I'm going to cut. I cut kind of odd, but it works for me. Okay, so now I'm not going to move my fabric. I'm going to go over another 1.5 inches and do another cut. And you would keep doing that until you're done. Then you could unfold them and stack several of them together and cut them whatever length. So as I said earlier, you can cut them anywhere between 7 and 9 inches long. Now on this one, I want to leave the selvage edge on there because it's really raggedy. On some of them, you probably don't want to leave the selvage edge on. Some of them are not raggedy at all. So you would cut all of your fabric in that particular technique. So I have some fabric lined up in the order I want to tie them on. And so I'm going to start right about here. You can start anywhere you want. So I'm going to take this one here, and I'm just going to pinch it in the middle and then lay it underneath. You can start on the inside row here or the outside row. I'm starting on the outside row. And you're only going to tie it 1 time. And don't worry about everything being even. So pull this through and then tighten it as much as you can. Then you would take your next piece and do the same thing. So you would keep going on. So when you get down to this last piece, then you would go back over to what your first color was and start again. This way your colors are spread out evenly. Now here's one that my husband was working on for me, and this just had quilting fabric. And all of these pieces were cut 9 inches long. Now, there's only one row tied on here. And I told him stop when he gets done with the first row because I wanted to see how it looked. Now, to me, it just looked okay, but it didn't have that spark I was kind of looking for. And that's when I decided to incorporate other texture types of fabrics and ribbons to give it a completely different look. So if you want to use different textures of fabric, making them different lengths if you like. Remember, there's no rules on this. It's whatever you like. So here's some orange toile. I could put it with any of these colors that I wanted. So I'm just going to take this purple fabric. It's just plain fabric. I'm just going to lay, now this piece of toile is cut really long. That's okay. And then I'm just going to pinch it in the middle, so I've got them both together, and then begin tying it around, just like you did before. Now on the ribbon, if you want to use ribbon, again, I just laid it on the inside of the fabric. You can make it longer or shorter, and then pinch it and tie it on. Now, only 3 rows was done on this because it was already getting pretty full, and I wanted to add an embellishment in the middle, and I thought it might be too much, so I stopped. If you're not going to add extra embellishment, you can continue doing all 4 rows. These rag wreaths are really, they look gorgeous when they're done. So this is the back of it. And then here's the front. Now this little decor or decoration piece I had in here came from Dollar Tree. It was a 2-piece skeleton. So I glued the skeleton pieces together and then put a little hot glue up here behind the head and up here along the hip and upper leg area, and just pressed it down to get it to stick. And then I did the same thing at the hands, put a little bit of glue there. And then to hang it, you can either have a hook on your door. The hook will go right on one of these rows, wire rows. You can grab it on there. Or you could tie a loop and put some twine on the back and hang it with that. But these are really fun. Now, if you want to keep your kids busy, this is a great project for them because it's no-sew. Now, I wouldn't let little children cut fabric. Have the older children cut it, and maybe everybody can help tying it on the wreaths. This is a fuzzy stick or pipe cleaner. You can take a pipe cleaner and wrap it around a pencil or a pen so that when you pull it off, and you can kind of spread it out just a little like this, then you can reach in, poke it inside on your wreath, tie it around the wreath, one of the wreath rows, and sporadically scatter these all over. Here's some other things you can do. You can pull things like this apart and scatter these around your wreath. Also, here are some pumpkin buttons. So again, you could take the pumpkin buttons or any other decor that you find and then glue it around. I also found these little sparkly pumpkin balls at Dollar Tree that you can also glue on, and I recommend you use hot glue. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. This is really a fun project. You don't really have to think about what you're doing. You just cut and throw it all together, and it'll look great no matter what you do. If you're interested in other Halloween projects and decor and costumes, I will have links down below your YouTube screen in the description section. So scroll down till you see the word more, click on it, and that section will expand open and you will see the links. Now don't forget to follow me on Instagram and make sure you check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.